Hey everybody! So I have been blogging now for a couple of weeks, and I've decided today to take a shot at video blogging. So very new to me, and I hope that this goes well. But anyway, first of all, let me say thank you to everyone that has been so supportive of my blog. I'm really excited that I finally have put this out there. It's been a project that has taken me, a couple months to put together. I'm really excited. So thank you, thank you, thank you. But let me switch now to the topic at hand, which is tips around packing. And where this came from was really a couple weeks ago. I was getting ready for a business trip. I was going to be gone for a week, and I started pulling things, to wear for my trip. And I realized it actually could be a pretty stressful experience for most people, men and women, but obviously my focus is women. So pretty stressful experience for women. You have really one shot getting it right. You've packed your suitcase, and then you take that with you. And if you've picked some great outfits, great. If you haven't, you're kind of screwed. You probably, I know at times many years ago, before I kind of put together my process for packing, there were times where I was like, shoot, I forgot something. And it just sucks. You only have whatever's in your suitcase. So I've come up with my way of really making this foolproof for myself. So when I leave for my business trip, I feel comfortable with what I've packed. And I feel like I have the appropriate outfit for whatever it is that I have planned during my trip. So basically, I just want to share those tips with you, and in hopes of making the packing experience for a business trip much easier. I should mention, you'll see my background. I'm actually in my bedroom today, so this is my bedroom. Anyway, so let's get to it. These are tips for packing perfectly every time, so you look perfect and flawless during your business trips. I hope that they help you. Thanks. So tip number one, know what's going on in your calendar, know what you're going to be doing during your business trip. So know your itinerary, basically. My trip, for example, last week went from presenting to a bunch of executives to going to a golfing event to sitting in a conference room for hours on end and listening to a bunch of speakers. And what I would wear to those three things are very different. So I always encourage you to take a moment, go through your calendar, understand what it is that you have coming up during that, during the upcoming business trip, so that you can plan appropriately what you're going to wear. Because you don't want to be in a situation where all you have are like heels and you have to go out, to a sporting event, or you brought casual clothes or business casual, and all of a sudden you realize that you're going to be presenting to a senior executive of your company, because that could be tragic. So tip number two is actually really simple, but it's the one thing that I think most people often look over, and that is to look at the weather. You could be in a really nice location where it's like sunny and it's warm, and you would assume that, hey, it's warm here, it's probably going to be warm where I'm going. And long and behold, the weather doesn't cooperate and it's freezing. That actually happened on my last business trip. We were going out for a golf outing. I actually did look at the weather because I follow my tips, and I had packed appropriately. I packed a fleece, but when we got there, realized that a bunch of my colleagues hadn't. They were asking each other, to borrow their hoodies, any extra jackets that they had, because the weather had turned from beautiful in 70s and across most of the Northeast to that particular day. It happened to be, barely broke 50, and it was drizzling. People froze. We all still had a good time, but people froze. So make sure that you understand what the weather is going to look like, so you can, take that into consideration as you're picking out what your wardrobe's going to look like. So step number three is to start pulling outfits. So I always go into my closet. I look at what I have. I think about where I'm, what my days are going to look like. What is the weather? What is the weather situation? And then I start pulling some outfits, and I will lay those all around the bed. I will actually start laying those out by the particular day. So day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, however many days I'm going to be traveling for. And I kind of go through that process, and I look at my entire day 1, and I look back at my calendar, and I look back at the weather, and I kind of start thinking through, like, does that really fit with does that outfit really meet, what I have on my calendar and also what the weather looks like. So I start laying everything out. My entire bedroom becomes like overflowing with clothes, but I tell you, this is like such an important step so that when you get to your location and you only have what's in your suitcase, you're not in a situation where like, damn, I forgot that. It's so worth it. So, I put everything out and then I start building my outfits that way. So all my shirts, if I'm wearing a suit that particular day, my skirts, my pants, whatever it is, I start building it out day by day and I lay it out. Like I said, day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, etc. And have a whole look at what that particular day is going to look like. And sometimes I do have an outfit change if I do have something that's more business, and then we move into like an outing. So I could have an outfit change or I may not, but I just make sure that I have everything laid out and I have a general idea, a broad idea of what my week is going to look like from an attire perspective. So the next step for me, and this is pretty important, is then to accessorize. Accessories are it's so important that you really pick out the right accessories for an outfit, because you can be wearing like the most gorgeous dress, for example, and if you don't even have a necklace, like sometimes people forget their accessories. It just doesn't make your outfit look as nice and as polished as it would have had you had the right accessories. So after all my clothes are laid out and I know what my week or whatever couple days are going to look like, I then start to pull my accessories, and that does include my shoes, and it can include your handbags. And you want to lay those out next to your outfits, and just make sure that from head to toe that look is exactly what you want to portray to the people that you're going to be meeting while you're away on business. So definitely take the moment to think through your accessories as they relate to your clothes. You could, and it could be a situation where you may want to wear the same accessory a couple days. That's totally fine, but just make sure that accessory and the shoes and the handbag, if you are going to switch up your handbags, they go with your overall look. I don't tend to switch my handbags when I'm traveling, just because I usually have my laptop with me, so I have a really big, just like a big Louis Vuitton not a duffel bag, but just a regular bag where I stuff everything in. I do bring clutches with me, so if I do go out to dinner, I'll just like grab a clutch, and it's something smaller. It's not bulky, but if you want to have like actual purses with you, I mean, you can. It does tend to fill up your suitcase, so you can go the handbag route, or you can go the clutch route. I'm a clutch girl. And my last step, and to me it's very important, most important, just as important as 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4, is to then take pictures of all of your outfits. You may not remember all the things that you picked out and how you put them together. So what better way than just to snap a picture? I'll give you an example. Here's here's an outfit that I had picked out for myself while I was away on a business trip. I hope you can see that. It's basically like a white, a dressy white t-shirt with a really nice red skirt. I had the accessories there. You'll see the shoes that I picked with it. Again, I'm a clutch person, so I had a beige clutch and I had a black clutch, so I wasn't going to take pictures of my clutches with my outfits. But it really helped with knowing what my outfit was going to look like once I got there. And by the way, really easy just in terms of scrolling through and seeing what your looks are going to look like for the week. Bonus tip related to this, it's also great to inventory just your regular outfits on a day-to-day basis. So when you have those mornings when you wake up and you're like, God, I have nothing to wear my outfit. Wait, you do, because you have them stored in your iPhone. So you create like a separate like event or category. I don't know how it's called on iPhone, but whatever it is that you're using, it could be a Droid too. And then you can kind of just flip through your outfits on your phone and be like, okay, I'm going to wear that today. And it takes some of the thinking out of picking your clothes. So that is like a super important step that I take when I'm traveling, and also just in general to document my outfits, that are in my closet. So bonus tip time. I'm going to share 2 bonus tips with you to really make this, again, just trying to ease the packing experience for you. This one really is more kind of related to once you arrive, and clothes do get wrinkled in your suitcase, obviously. So what I tend to do is 2 things. One, so the way I pack is I have a garment bag that's built into my suitcase. I actually lay all the things in the garment bag portion of my suitcase, but I don't fold it up and close my suitcase until right before I'm getting ready to leave the house. So I will pack everything up the night before, but I will lay everything out in the garment bag, unfolded, and then last thing I do before I leave is I roll up the garment bag piece of my suitcase and close up my suitcase. That way, I'm trying to minimize the amount of time that my clothes have been packed up and squished in that garment area to really reduce the wrinkles. When I get to the hotel room, the first thing I do is I unpack everything that's in my garment bag area. And I tend to put it in the bathroom and kind of run the steam shower, just kind of loosen up some of those wrinkles. So hopefully I don't have to iron any of the outfits that I had, but if I do, just makes it a little bit easier with ironing. And bonus tip number 2, and this is related back to where you were picking your clothes, and that's mix and matching. If you're trying to pack light, and sometimes people are because they want to maybe just take a duffel bag, or if you want to do carry-on, then I strongly encourage you to mix and match. You can actually take like a suit, so like let's say like a black jacket and the coordinating black pants, and you can turn that into a couple different outfits by just one day wearing the suit, one day wearing just the black pants, one day wearing just the blazer with maybe a different color pant or a different skirt. So you can really mix and match your outfits that way, and it does help with again, packing light, reducing the amount of stuff that you have, and just remember to take your pictures so you know how you were going to mix and match those outfits. So anyway, I hope that you find these tips super useful. If you have any of your own tips that you think would be good for me to know, leave those, or for anybody to know, leave those in my comments, in the comment area. I do look forward to hearing from you, and if there's anything else that you want to hear from me about, I love to share, different tips and things that I've learned, so I'll keep doing that. But feel free to, suggest any topics. Would love to hear from you too. Thank you. Bye.